Ladies and gentlemen, it is a mock draft time. What is going on, everybody? Is Alex coming back at you with another video. And today, we're going to be running it back with a new mock draft. Been watching a lot more tape recently. Took a little bit of time off, so I love you guys for showing me the patience that y'all have always shown me, which is awesome. I love you guys. You guys make me want to do this even when, it's the off season. I have to put a quick disclaimer. This is not going to be the best video this week. And not because this video is not going to be good, but because I'm dropping it on Friday. It is going to be the most insane, the most awesome video that I have ever created, and I am so stoked for it. You guys have to watch it. So if you guys are new, please stick around to watch that because you guys won't want to miss out on it. I'm beyond excited. It's something that I can't stop thinking about. It's going to be insane. So stick around. I'm not trying to just pull your tail. I'm not trying to just do anything or pull your tail. What the hell? Pull your hair. I'm trying to give you guys a genuinely honest reaction right here. It is going to be insane. And let's get right into this. I will be trading away this number one overall spot because Caleb Williams should be the pick. It is what it is. But I just don't think the Cardinals with the dead cap situation are going to necessarily be in the mood to go after Caleb Williams. So for simplicity's sake, I don't think they go any further than pick number 3, which I assume they're going to get at least a couple years worth of 1s and 2s. So I think they might include another year after this as well. Because, again, this is for Caleb Williams. Everybody in the world is going to be sending their left nut, maybe their right nut as well for this man. And we are going to now move up. And at least they don't get to really lose out on any of the players that they were going to probably try to originally target. Caleb Williams is, of course, going to be that number 1 overall selection, as he should be. Guy is in a different league. So at pick number 2, I think I'm going to stick to my board and go Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Marvin Harrison is another gold jacket player. Obviously, if I could find a way around the dead cap, I would totally get rid of Kyler Murray. I'm going to be honest, when you get to see a gold jacket player who can probably remain a little bit more healthy or at least play through injury a bit better, I'd probably prefer to go out that route. Pick number 3, Humphreys and then Beachum were kind of like, both guys I wouldn't really want. Just got Paris Johnson. I believe he's going to play on the right side this year. Still got Josh Jones on the roster, and, I love Josh Jones, but if you're sitting here at number 3, and that first trade's the only one I'm going to do in this one for simplicity's sake, I think that you'd have to start opting for a position like tackle with Joe Alt. Some people are trying to say go after an edge rusher here, and I just don't think the edge rush class is good enough to warrant going above superstar tackles like Joe Alt. So I'm going to be going off of my board here, and you're going to have arguably the best tackle duo in the NFL just right out the gate, which is something that you guys have not had in a very long time. And you got built through the trenches. You have a superstar gold jacket receiver, and then you also have a potentially gold jacket offensive lineman here. I'm going to give you guys a quick disclaimer. I am not high on Drake May. My board's below my face, and it is going to be absolutely ludicrous to 99.9995% of people. I'm probably that 0.00005% of people. I think that after digging more, I've actually watched more quarterback tape per quarterback than I have in any single year because what I've been seeing is not lining up at all with what the rankings are saying. Drake May is still a top 3 quarterback for me, or top 4 quarterback for me in this class. But let's not get it twisted. This man is not a superstar, and, he could be. But I just have to bring that up. I really do. I have to bring that up because, Drake May is a fun player to watch, but there's just so many negatives to this game. And the more you hear and the more you watch, I honestly don't know if he's much better than Sam Howell. But to be fair, I had Sam Howell very high on my board. So that's take it from that point of view. I think Drake May, he graded out worse. Of course, I'm using a different grading system. But he did grade out worse than Sam Howell did. But at pick number 4, I think that if you are in this situation, you got to go and continue bolstering the offensive line. I think Anthony Richardson is going to have a very promising and very solid career, and I just don't really trust Bernard Ryman. Wasn't a fan of him in his draft, and I'm going to continue bolstering that O-line. Olu Fashanu is the pick. Pick number 5, I think quarterback should be at least a focus at this spot. And for realism's sake, I probably will go Drake May here. But other positions to target, I think Brock Bowers, if you don't want to go after a QB, wouldn't be a bad option. This class does actually have quite a few competent quarterbacks. And if you want to, get guys like edge rushers like Jared Verse or, weapons like Brock Bowers, it might be a little bit more beneficial if you trust developing a QB later on. This is probably going to be a new regime, and they're going to want a new quarterback. I do have to bring this up. We all thought Sam Howell was a first-round quarterback or maybe a second-round guy, and he fell to the fifth. And it wasn't just because, he wasn't necessarily the guy who took a step up, but it was also the system at North Carolina. It's not very translatable. And it's something I really want to bring up and highlight because there's quite a few offenses with these quarterbacks that are just not translatable. Drake Mays being one of them. I think that when you look at Jordan Travis's, that's another, I don't fully believe that these offenses are ones that the NFL is going to run. And it's a little bit of a shame, but I wouldn't be surprised to see only one quarterback in the top five. Genuinely being honest with you. But I do think Drake May would be their selection here. He's a different style than Sam Howell. So I know they're going back to North Carolina for their future, but it's a worthy pick. It's a top 5 pick. It's not a top 3 pick. You still have some form of momentum with your franchise if you can get it back up with Drake May. Pick number 6. This is much less favorite. Well, actually, I think I had the Packers around the same range. I think Brock Bowers might be the best choice here. I just wish they didn't go after 2 tight ends, right? Looking at other choices that they can go after, I really can't see them not going after Brock Bowers and just putting him in the slot. There's just nobody remotely better. You already have edge rush everywhere. In a trades mock draft, I'd absolutely trade out and then maybe look at another receiver to go after like a Mecca Ibuka and kind of have your more larger receiver. But I don't think, as much of a fan as I am of a Mecca Ibuka, I don't think he's worth the number 6 overall pick. So I'm going to go Brock Bowers here. I know, you drafted 2 tight ends, 2 very good ones as well. Luke Musgrave as well as Tucker Kraft. And I think those guys will both serve their purpose very well. I think Brock Bowers is in another league. I don't think you need to keep him as just a tight end. I think he's on that Kyle Pitts level where you can put him where you need him to be. If you're looking for an X-build wide receiver, you can probably also get that out of Brock. He's a very impressive athlete, and I'm very excited to see him go to the NFL. Pick number 7. The cards didn't necessarily fall the way I'd exactly want them for the Raiders, but nonetheless, I probably do want to start building up that right side of the offensive line. Right tackle is still one that I'd perfectly be fine upgrading from Thayer Munford. So to me, I think that's the best move. Other positions of note, Kool-Aid McKinstry. It's a very thin cornerback class, so you could continue to build the corner core right there. And, I think that might be the best decision. We do have some good right tackles in this class, and this team doesn't seem to be very high on prioritizing, those type of positions. I feel like McDaniels might be more comfortable with his evals and targeting offensive linemen later on. So I'm actually going to take an audible here and go Kool-Aid McKinstry, the number 1 corner in the class. Pick number 8. Did I say, I said Thayer Munford. Okay, good. Because I was tripping balls. I was talking about Nicholas Petit-Frere, which is right here on the Tennessee Titans, which I might potentially go J.C. Latham here. I really do like J.C. Latham. I think continuing to go offensive line is just a brilliant move. They did a great job in last year's class. And, you ended up getting one of the best offensive linemen, the best offensive lineman in the class. And then you got a really solid quarterback. I was not that much against Will Levis. I was when he was considered a top 4 pick. But you guys got him at number, I think, 35. Doesn't matter. 34, 35. It is what it is. But at pick number 38, pick number 8, I think you could be looking in the edge rusher department. I don't think that's out of the question. I think wide receiver could also be within the range of possibility. I'm actually going to opt for J.C. Latham here. I think you continue building the offensive line. It's been your biggest crutch. Obviously, you don't really have legitimate solidified options there. I like Nicholas Petit-Frere. I don't know if he's going to match the potential of J.C. Latham, who's younger, more athletic, and just overall more comfortable on that right side. So, worst case scenario, Nicholas Petit-Frere can move to left tackle where he was playing before, And he could probably kick some ass there. I think that he could play either side of the offensive line, to be fair. I don't really think you need to put Ferrer in just one little pigeon mold, but it is what it is. I like building the offensive line. That's just the way I roll. Pick number 9. Jared Verse fits everything that the Rams would be looking for. Offensive linemen are all gone, and you still are looking for that marquee defender. And it's good to see that you guys drafted really, really well. And you got some good pieces there for sure. I don't know if any of them are going to match Jared Verse or where the hell did they put him? Where? Hold up. This seems ridiculous. Where's Dallas Clark? Ain't no way. Oh, Dallas Clark. There you go. That would be pretty cool to see Dallas Clark in this class. Dallas Turner right there. I think Dallas Turner or Jared Verse would be both guys that they would be intrigued with. I think Jared Verse going to Florida State after they were really trying hard to target Brian Burns from Florida State would be a pretty cool move. And I just don't really see. I see the value of offensive line, but not realistically. I can't see, a billion tackles. This would be my 4th tackle in the top 10. Even when we had an elite tackle class, we didn't see that. So I'm trying to put a little bit less on the gas pedal. Bears have 10 and 11. I did not make this draft order, so please don't get mad at me for it, Bears fans, because I know you guys are headhunting for people who do stuff like that. I am going to be going Dallas Turner here. Getting another elite edge rusher is never a bad thing. I say another, but you don't really have one. So getting a elite edge rusher would be very nice for Ann. Pick number 11 for the Bears again. Emeka Egbuka is the guy who I'm thinking of targeting here. You do have Claypool as well as Mooney up for a contract, and receivers are mightily expensive. Other positions of note to target, we already addressed the defensive line. Corner 2 wouldn't be awful, but you guys got Tyreek Stevenson. Don't really have many issues. I got a ton of defensive interiors. Otherwise, I'd recommend Jer'Zhan Newton, as I have before. But you drafted plenty of them. So good for you. I don't really think they were big impact players. Gervin Dexter and Zach Pickens, not my cup of tea necessarily, but I'm excited to be proven wrong on that one. But defense, you guys look stacked. Offensively, I think the receiver is the way to go. Even if you guys bring back both of them, I'd still probably take a swing at Emeka Egbuka and just get a really nice, solid, larger target. You have DJ Moore there, Emeka Egbuka, and probably you bring back Darnell Mooney. I think that'd be a good move for the team. Pick number 12 for the Patriots. Jeremiah Trotter might be an amazing selection for this team. Jer'Zhan Newton, another one where I would love to see him on this defensive front. I think that Bill Belichick wants to get the best of the best. And to me, I really believe Jeremiah Trotter might be that. But they neglected tackle in this class or in this past draft. So to me, I can't continue with a strong conscience allowing them to do that. And Kingsley is a monster. You also have Amarius Mims here, who's a little bit younger, a little bit more raw. I don't think after they let Isaiah Wynn go that they're going to necessarily be as high on Georgia tackles. And I don't think Amarius is pick 12 worthy. Graham Barton's a name I want to bring up here, and I think he's going to be the route that I do go. He is very athletic and very fun to watch. He's going to be one of those guys who's going to rise up draft boards. And honestly, we've already seen him pop up in a mock draft or two. I really love this player. He was technically rated, statistically, he's rated above Olu Fashanu, but I think Olu's going to take a bigger step. Graham is just super athletic, very exciting. I had him graded above, actually, Broderick Jones in this past class, and a lot of people like Broderick Jones. And I'm a Steelers fan, so I should like Broderick Jones. But Graham Barton's just a beast. You guys get to see my board here. I have Joe Milton, but I just highly doubt that a 24-year-old quarterback with a cannon arm is going to necessarily have the momentum to get drafted in the top 10. It just doesn't seem to make sense for me. And I'm probably going to have him drop quite a bit here. But I think Graham Barton's an excellent addition. This team's looking for a difference maker at one of the tackle spots. And I'm electing to go after after a left tackle and arguably one of the most stacked right tackle classes that I have studied. Pick number 13, though, this could be a quarterback pick if we're going to be completely honest. And I think it kind of should be. I think that Quinn Ewers should be in the mix here. Yeah, I'm looking at my board specifically. I got you got Jer'Zhan Newton in here, and then the Joe Milton, and then Jeremiah Trotter. So, it's not too many guys in front, and I think that the best thing that we can do is to go after a quarterback. Surprising to see Bo Nix ranked above Quinn Ewers, but I guess I can't say it's surprising because I do too. I just think Quinn has a bigger chance to take a big step up. And I think I'm going to go after Quinn. Penix, I know a lot of people love Michael Penix. I'm just going to be completely honest. He's had multiple ACL tears and just didn't wow me. So I'm going to be going after Quinn Ewers here. I think Bo Nix is the better prospect right now, but Quinn might be the better prospect in a year or two. Pick number 14. I might opt for Jeremiah Trotter here. I think this would be an excellent spot for New York to go after Jeremiah Trotter. I know they just signed. I know they have a couple dudes on shorter term contracts or coming up on expiring contracts on the defensive interior. Jerzon Newton, someone who I absolutely love, would love to see him there. Offensive line looks pretty solid at the moment. You guys also had an absolute steal there in John Michael Schmitz in the past draft. I think Jeremiah Trotter might be the best move. Corner, I just think corner sucks in this class. I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to go after Jeremiah Trotter. I know you brought in some good guys in free agency like Bobby Okereke, but I think Jeremiah Trotter is one of those guys you cannot let him continue to slip. Pick number 15. I can see Cooper DeJean here. It is not impossible to go after Cooper DeJean. You could pair him up with Riley Moss, who you already drafted. He's a big-ass corner, but I don't think that's the right way. And I think a quarterback might be. So when you look at the guys who could be developmental, I really like Shedeur Sanders, by the way. He's a good quarterback. I think Bo Nix could be the guy that really does, he feels like someone Sean Payton would absolutely adore. I don't know how many more years that are left on Russ's contract, but if you're at 15, man, I mean, this team, I guess you've seen a boost in the production, but I don't know how much you could really rely on that. I have heard of trade rumors of Garrett Bowles, so I'm going to opt for the offensive lineman pick just to be safe, but because I really like Kingsley. There's a gut feeling it could be the year for a QB for him. Pick number 16, I don't really understand after how they conducted the draft, how their Super Bowl odds would put them at 16th. Just going to be honest, it's the NFC. I think they could be Super Bowl competitors. I think they could make it towards at least the NFC Championship. And I think the one thing the Seahawks didn't really do is boost the nose and the run defense. So I'm just going to do that for y'all. You guys can take a freebie on Jerzon Newton, who's an absolute freak at 300 pounds. Elite hand technician, someone you can put on the nose, someone you can put as an edge as well. I do love what he can bring to the table for you. Pick number 17 for my Steelers. I think that, there's just too many good players in this class. Corner, I wish there were better players. Cooper DeJean could be a fun one where, worst case scenario, you could put him at safety. I saw him as listed as a defensive safety recently, but Cooper DeJean would be fun. I think that would be entertaining. Quarterback's obviously off my list. Wide receiver, I don't know if we get rid of. I don't think there's a wide receiver that we would replace Deontay Johnson with. That would be worth the 17th overall selection. So other guys, based on my board specifically, Graham Barton's gone, JC's gone. You got Tommy Eichenberg here. And to be honest, I think that's kind of a Steelers player. We've neglected linebacker long enough. I'm kind of tired of neglecting it. And I'm going to go after Tommy Eichenberg and show the love that we kind of need to put into that linebacking room. Because we've just been kind of grabbing guys who are all right. And, last year I really thought Myles Jack was going to take a step up and just didn't. That was very unfortunate. But, I don't really trust Cole Holcomb. And I'm forgetting the name of the other guy. I always say Nicholas Morrow, but that guy's on the Eagles because I hear his name all the time. But at pick number 18, I think this could be Cooper DeJean. Getting another boundary corner, never a bad idea. This could be the QB selection. If you are at 18, I'm sure it probably would be. And if you're going to go after somebody who, when in rhythm, can actually kick ass, I'm going to go Bo Nix here. It's weird. I've been a big guy against Bo Nix. The more you watch him, first off, if you're going to watch him, watch towards the end of the season, and you'll see, damn, he doesn't have that much throw power compared to what you think he does. He looks a little bit timid here and there. But then you look at him earlier in the season, and it's I didn't realize how much his ankle injury affected him. And he was still willing to play through it, still played very, very well. But you see those like glimpses where it's like, oh, why would you throw that? Clark Phillips just picked it off. And if he did it earlier in the year before his injury, he would have easily made that throw. So you can see what he's like when he's healthy. And you see the workmanship, or the competitor, the person behind the helmet, is someone who I would really trust to lead my franchise. I like Bo Nix, and it's weird to say that because, again, I haven't been the most supportive in that realm. But for the Texans, I might go after another edge rusher here. I just fell in love with the idea of continuing to just get elite, high upside, wins above replacement positions for this team. And Leatu Latu is fun. I think that we're heavily underrating Braylon Trice, who's a lot bigger. And then I'm surprised Grayson Murphy is not listed on here either. That's kind of sad to see Leatu Latu getting all the love. But Grayson, who statistically is better, not getting that love. That's PFF for you, though. I think Chop Robinson might be the fun one. I'm going to toss his name into the hat, and we're going to be going after Chop Robinson. Making sure I did not screw this up by... Where the hell is... Oh, there's the other Houston pick. But yeah, if you're there at pick number 19... Well, you're not there at 19. You're there at 2. You could technically be looking for some help elsewhere, but I think that they stick to what they have and go Chop Robinson nonetheless. Pick number 20 for the Saints. I think that offensive line-wise, I know you guys have a couple interior dudes up for a contract, and that could lean towards drafting one of these interior players. I think Cedric Van Pran would not be an awful option at all. And to me, he's the best interior offensive lineman in this class. We don't have many of them, so I would just say that. Tight end, I never think is a bad idea. Jatavian Sanders is a very good target. Jaheim Bell as well. You could look at a defensive back, and honestly, I would love to take Cooper DeJean and just use him anywhere. Looking at it, linebackers, I don't really trust the longevity of the linebacking core. Edge rusher, you guys have addressed defensive line in the past draft. I think that the next step is to continue boosting the secondary. And I think Cooper DeJean's talent level is, to me, worth it. I think it's worth bringing in. There's not, honestly, too many issues with this team. And this was one guy who could just be kind of a jack of all trades and maybe, potentially, a master of all trades. Above 6 foot, above 210 pounds. And again, Iowa knows how to train these players. He's a very good player. Pick number 21 for the Dolphins, which is weird to talk about because I'm not used to talking about the Dolphins in the first round. But we're going to be going a right tackle here, and there is one more right tackle that I really like, and that is a Marius Mims out of Georgia. Still trying to sign multiple tackles to one-year deals, seeing if somebody fits. And you know what? Rather than getting Isaiah Wynn as a Georgia tackle to fit there, we're going to get Marius Mims out of Georgia to fit that role. Pick number 22 for the Ravens. They went after Zay Flowers, and I think that they should be looking potentially at a corner at this spot. And Fentrell Cypress might be the guy who I target because I love Florida State corners, even though I know he's just transferring in there. Kalen King, people love this guy. He's statistically awesome, but when he goes up against elite talent, he just cannot perform. I think that he might take a step up, and I'm going to be supportive of that step up. We're going to go Kalen King here to go to Baltimore. Pick number 23. So, Chargers, think of the tight ends you got in the past draft. I thought Dalton Kincaid was a guaranteed lock for them at 20, or like their pick last year. I think Jatavian Sanders could be a really fun one this year. They went Quentin Johnston last year, forgetting what they did in round number 2. That's actually quite sad. I can't remember what they did in round 2. But I think Jatavian Sanders, nonetheless, would be a really good option to bring onto the team. And I don't think you'd really regret it. He's a really talented player. Even if you have weapons there at tight end, I think still Jatavian Sanders is too dynamic of an athlete to be able to give up on. And Kellen Moore loves his tight ends. So we're going to continue feasting with Jatavian Sanders. Pick number 24 for the Cowboys. The quarterback is going to be the selection here. No, it's not. I'm not that stupid. I already know I'm about to get executed on the spot if I do something like that. I know the Cowboys were also looking at a tight end because that's why the Bills jumped them. They were definitely expecting a tight end. I was about to say the Titans should be a selection. They actually drafted a bust in the second round. R.I.P. Luke Schoonmaker and all the Dallas Cowboys fans. I think a running back at this point wouldn't be a bad option. I was really hoping that they ended up getting Zach Charbonnet. And I think Blake Corum could be the guy who leads them on. He has a great 3-down mentality and can work really well with a home run hitter like Tony if Tony wants to stay. So I'm going to be going Blake Corum here out of Michigan. He's a great running back, should be everybody's RB1, and might piss off some people, but, it's okay. Pick number 25, assuming the Jets use Aaron Rodgers, I think 65% of the time. We have already gone after Brock Bowers. It's another spot where I don't really think too many issues need to be addressed, but I am going to be going after a safety here. You have Cameron Kinchins, who's had 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 in a game. You have Kalen Bullock here, who I absolutely adore. You have James Williams, who's an absolute beast. I mean, this class has a lot of very good defensive back talent. And I think that Cameron Kinchins might be the guy who you guys love a little bit more, but I'm going to trust that Kalen Bullock's a better athlete overall. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Pick number 26 for the Leones. I think edge rusher still is a position they could go after. Boundary corner still hasn't been addressed. Wide receiver 1 hasn't been addressed. I'm going to be going A.D. Mitchell here. I think getting a nice, solid boundary weapon like A.D. Mitchell, who I still have, where do I have A.D. Mitchell? In my top 20, almost in my top 15. I think that he needs to get a little bit of love. We'll scroll down a little bit. Next best player on my board is JT Tuimoloau, not named Joe Milton, but this is a range where I could see someone liking a guy like Joe Milton to step in. But at pick number 27, I don't know if the Jaguars are going to really like keeping Josh Allen on their roster. So I'm going to be going JT Tuimoloau. And we'll see what happens there. Arden Key's not there either. So there still is definitely a role. And JT Tuimoloau, with the upside that he has flashed, could definitely be a big get for this team. Cameron Kinchins is going to be my selection here for Buffalo. I was debating him right here at 25. It doesn't seem like much of a debate there at 28. Eagles, another team that I could definitely see going after a safety. Unfortunately, I took 2 of the more dynamic, rangy safeties in the class. It is what it is. I think they could be going after a larger edge rusher. I believe Leatu Latu is 260, but I think that if they're going to opt to go away from wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, obviously, you never know. They might just go O-line. You got Cedric Van Pran on the board, right? Yeah, they got. Let's go Georgia. Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's go Georgia. Cedric Van Pran off the board. Now you have a succession plan at center. You also have a succession plan at guard, and then your entire offensive line is still an absolute beast. And you're disarming the Niners from grabbing a star interior. But with the Niners on the clock, looking at the right tackles available, you got Blake Fisher here. I don't know enough about him to honestly give you a genuine thought process on him. Looking at the right tackle based on my board, it's a big drop-off. Because I think that's the big issue, is that right tackle spot. I think you could try to get a little bit more dynamic, but you could also try to boost the defensive interior. Never a bad thing. Didn't really have very many picks this past year. I'm actually going to go after Braylon Trice here, though. I think Braylon Trice, as a monster edge rusher, he has like a 30% pass rush win rate, especially in true pass sets. He's a monster, and he's, I think, 270. Just watch out for this guy. He's a beast. I've been putting him in my top 20 for quite a long time. Decided to have him slip in this one. Pick number 31, though, for the Bengals. Drafted Myles Murphy in the past draft in the first round. Continuing to draft Michigan slot corners / safeties. So, I think they still could use a true boundary. I don't really like any of these guys. Jeez Louise. Other positions you could try to go after, tight ends, the obvious choice. And we're going to go Jaheim Bell here. So yes, I believe, is that 3 tight ends in the first? Yes. I mean, Brock Bowers, it doesn't really count. But Jaheim Bell is a great choice. He's going to have a big year there at Florida State because I know that Jordan Travis likes to check it down, especially to bigger targets. So pick number 32 for Kansas City, and ending off the draft. Edge rusher has already been addressed. I think defense and interior would be a great way to go. And looking at the guys who are available, I really like Leonard Taylor. I'm forgetting who you brought on because I did like your third round selections. I know you got Wanya Morris. I thought you got somebody else who's a defensive interior. To me, it doesn't really matter. I think either of these guys are incredible, and you can choose which one that you want. I'll opt for Tyler Davis here because I'm a Tyler Davis stan. But that is going to be the draft. Again, guys, stay tuned for Friday because it's going to be ridiculous. And we're going to be getting fantasy football content out very soon. I just want to take a little bit of a break to, and get back in the game. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys on the far side.